Hi everyone, this is Nick from Domazet Gaming, and today we will be looking at the fourth game in the Darksiders universe, Darksiders Genesis. Now when this game came out, I only saw one or two trailers and it looked like an action RPG, something like Diablo, which I was very keen on. So that's what I was expecting coming into the game, but very quickly I realized this is not an action RPG. Actually the controls are identical to the original third-person adventure Darksiders game. Not gonna lie, I did not enjoy the first 2 hours of the game. I was actually a bit upset, expecting an action RPG, which is my fault, to find pretty much a third-person adventure game with a weird camera angle and toned-down graphics. I actually felt a bit robbed, I love the Darksiders games and I wanted a full Darksiders experience, which at first I thought I'm not gonna get. However, as I played on, I realized actually this is an absolute gem of a game and I completely fell in love with it. Now, the story of the game is set many years before the original game. The Council summons War and Strife on a mission to hunt down Lucifer, aka the Devil, one of the Lords of Hell, as he is threatening the balance. Now, as you go along the story, you will meet some familiar faces from the past Darksiders games, like good old Volgrim, who is always fun, and many others, but I don't want to spoil the story. Now, the story in general is good, has its moments. It kept me interesting to a degree, but still does not compare to the original, and I would even go as far to say this one had at least interesting story of the three games in my opinion. I mean, by no means the story is bad, but we have seen better in the franchise. I also find the ending controversial. Now I can see a lot of people are not going to like it, but for me personally I think it's brilliant and it tied all the games together. And that's the thing about Genesis and its story, it has its moments of brilliance, just wish it had more of that. There's also no fancy CGI intros like in the past, it's small animations like the one you've seen in the intro. One thing I do have to mention though is the brilliant banter between War and Strife throughout the game, which I really enjoyed. It feels like a classical brothers relationship. And coming from a family of 3 boys, it's definitely resonated with me. It was one of those brilliant moments I mentioned before in the story that this game has. While we enter the topic of the banter between the brothers, let's talk about voice acting a little bit, which is superb. For call it a smaller game. The voice actors for both War and Strife are brilliant. They really bring out the characters and stand out. But that's across the board here. The supporting cast, the enemies all do a superb job. I've said it many times when you're playing a single player game, voice acting is so crucial and the actors do a fantastic job here, which I found to be always the case with all the Darksiders games. Now gameplay is for me really where this game shines. It's an old grey Darksiders formula, just with a different camera, and honestly somehow it makes it even better. Like at first I didn't like it, but as I started to playing I was like, wow, this actually really works. Like in the previous Darksiders games you couldn't really see your enemies in the distance. Here it's much more open, you can see further, which is really nice. I would not even mind if all the future Darksiders games use this formula. I think it actually works much better. Now the game is split into 16 chapters. Each chapter works as a single map on which you can explore, collect upgrades for War and Strife. Also what makes a return is great puzzles, in which you have to switch between 2 characters and use different equipment. Now I really have to acknowledge how interesting each map was to do. Puzzles that you collect, upgrades, and everything you collect on the map you actually use as upgrades for your characters, and not collect like audio files or text files like so many games just add on junk, call them collectibles. And I really appreciate that here. It's actually worth collecting these things. And also there's the Void, which is kind of a central hub where you buy upgrades, moves for your characters. Now in the Void you can also enter the arena, which is a classic 10-wave fight per arena chapter with enemies getting stronger as waves go on, which is a really nice addition to the main campaign. Now, I wanted to separate character progression because it's a bit different than in normal games. Now, both War and Strife have their own power levels, meaning how powerful they are and how hard they hit and how much health they have, etc, etc. Now, as you fight, you're going to collect creature cores. Now, each creature you fight drops a core. Now, cores are separated from Wrath, Attack, and health. There's also universal. Now these things combine and add attack, rat, and health on this big skill tree where you slot different types. Now there's minor cores, which as you can see there, and then each core has got a little stat. For example, improves war's block counter, damage, and etc. etc. And they have 3 levels each cores: level 1, 2, and 3. Now there's also major cores. Major cores are a bit more powerful, and they give a bigger boost to your attack, rat, and health. Now everything you collect and operative finance under collection, in which you can see your souls, your currency, your boatman coins which you need to buy, and trickster keys for trickster doors during the game. You, as in other previous Darksiders games, pretty standard. You get a Hellstone, Ratstone, Abyssal Armor, which I got a bit of an issue with. Abyssal Armor you can only get at the end of the game, which is kind of pointless. Besides that, you have your potion that you can upgrade. Wars and Strive's different gear they can use for puzzles and fighting. And War's got enhancements for his sword, and Strive's got different ammo for his pistols. Overall, Darksiders Genesis is actually a really brilliant game. As I said at the beginning, at first I didn't enjoy it, and that's one thing I could recommend to everybody. Just give it a chance and play it. If you're a fan of the Darksiders games, you're going to absolutely love this. It's a fun game, there's lots to do. It took me about 30 hours to finish everything, so it's quite a hefty campaign, plus the arena. There's replayability also, different difficulties, so yeah, it's definitely worth the asking price also. It's not a standard $60 price. I got this at half price also at the moment as a Steam sale. But I would highly recommend this game. Yes, the story can do some work, but it shows those real great moments of brilliance that just stayed with me. I mean, as I said, the ending I really loved, and they were just Strife and War brilliant together. I would really love to see more of this from THQ Nordic. Overall, if you had to give this game kind of a mark, I would definitely recommend it and get this. And I think I would give it about 8.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I really do hope you enjoy it. Please like it, subscribe to our channel, drop us a comment. Let's chat in the comments below. I do reply regularly. I want to hear from you guys what you're thinking if you play this game. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one.